Learning how to roll is something that has been in my mind for a couple of weeks now, and the whole thing just got me super frustrated. And a lot of frustration when learning a new skill comes from not really knowing what you're doing wrong, so you can't fix the problem. So in this video I'll share my experiences with finally learning how to roll, and if you're struggling with your roll or with any technique for that matter, I have some tips on how to find out what's going wrong. So stay tuned for that. Welcome back, paddlers. I'm Lex, the Paddling Dutchman, and being able to roll a kayak is, in my opinion, one of the biggest milestones in kayaking. Being able to get back up after you flip and doing it consistently will give you so much confidence. And it opens up a whole new world of paddling. But rolling is a difficult thing to learn. It's a tricky move, and being underwater, upside down, in the dark with your nose full of water, it's confusing and it's disorienting. Now, I started a pool course, but that got brutally interrupted by a pandemic, and when the last few sessions got cancelled, I was left with this immense feeling of frustration. I hadn't been making any real progress the last few sessions, and I just couldn't get a grip on what I was doing wrong. And of course I had a hard time letting go, and I hated the feeling of having to wait another year to take a new course. Now, I don't mind a good swim every once in a while. And since the weather and water temperatures were rising, I decided to take matters into my own hands, and I asked Martijn and Alex to give me a hand. Well, to give me a hand. I prepared, I watched videos, I watched instructions, I got the theory down, and I just knew it. I was gonna go out and I was just gonna roll. Okay. But as with every new skill you're learning, sometimes it just has to click first. You can get instructions, pointers, tips, watch videos, but ultimately it's you who has to do the move. Your brain has to tell your body what and how to do it. And honestly, for me, it just hadn't clicked until this happened.
Als je peddel hier dus, mag je ook beginnen met je heup. Je begint nou hier pas. En dan heb je dit slag, heb je nog om overheen te komen. Ja, dat is niet heel veel. Nee.
And I had always thought that my problem was I was pulling my blade down and I wasn't making a nice sweep stroke. Well, guess what? I was wrong. It turns out I was hip snapping way too late. And after I figured that out, well, let's just say things really started rolling for me. In the end, it boiled down to figuring out what was wrong, and before going out and mindlessly practicing. I always thought it was my sweep stroke, but I just needed to hip snap way sooner to make it work. And maybe you yourself are struggling with rolling as well, or any other technique, and you and your instructor can't really figure out and make it click. Then here are some tips that might help you to figure out what's going on and help you get over that bump. Before we dive in, make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments how and where you learned to roll. When you're out on the water practicing, it's really hard to take every aspect of what's going on in, even for your instructor. And we all know that data is knowledge, so film yourself. or have somebody else film you in a way that afterwards you can analyze and go through step by step what you're doing. And here's a small disclaimer, don't just straight up compare your own footage to that of someone who can roll. Just remember that everybody's roll, physique, body, flexibility is different. Another tip would be to start off slow and really take things step by step. Go through the motion as slow and as deliberate as possible. Let your instructor or practicing buddy guide your paddle through the water and help support you. Because when you go as slow as possible and completely focus on the technique and not on the result, you will often find what the problem is. This is, for instance, how we figure out that I was hip snapping way too late. And if after taking all these steps you still can't figure out what's going wrong, take a radically different approach. Stop practicing in a pool and start practicing in whitewater. Work with a different instructor, try a different boat, try a different paddle, or all of the above. Reset and change some or all of the variables. And this can really help to literally feel things that you couldn't feel before. And again, they can lead to an insight on what's going wrong and what you were doing wrong before. And there you have it, paddlers. Hopefully these tips will help you out with what you're struggling with and find out what's going wrong. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel if you want to discover the world of pedal sports together with me. I've been sharing my journey into whitewater kayaking so far, and if you want to see how it all started out, take a look at that video. And again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the water soon.